What's good, y'all? It's Pod.cannion, and I'm back with another reaction video. We have another Josh Johnson video. And 8 days became 8 months? Question mark. NASA's stuck in space saga. Um, I don't know too much about this, but we're gonna figure this out together. Um, yeah. If y'all like the video, let me charge my phone. So I'm not blamed for nothing. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I am not. I'm here, y'all, but I'm not here for real. Like, if I'm being for real with y'all. I needed to get the charger because, y'all, I am gone. Like, I took a full shot. It's like I'm not really an alcoholic, so like that full shot did it. Like, I'm out of here. But we about to watch the Josh Johnson. I'm about to be weak as a bitch. I got food and shit. How y'all been doing? Hit me up in the comments. You know, I fuck with y'all. Cause once again, this is just a chill channel. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like chilling with your boy, just tap in and look at what you want to watch with me. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, Josh Johnson is funny, and I actually got a comment like a couple of days ago, someone asking me to react to more Josh Johnson. So I got y'all. I was actually about to finish recording, but I was like, I knew I was forgetting something. So yes, Josh Johnson dropped this about 2 days ago. I don't know about this NASA stuck in space saga, but I'm not gonna lie, if I'm gonna learn it from anybody, Josh Johnson is one of the perfect people to learn it from because it's gonna be funny and it's gonna be informative. I think that's it. If y'all like the video, like it, subscribe if you're new, if you want to see me again, because all we do is chill over here. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into the video.
San Francisco, California. Please make some noise for Josh Johnson.
That poster's hard. That poster is hard. Yo, if I could meet and greet Josh Johnson, I'd actually be hard.
I've been having trouble. I can't stop thinking about how we've gone from this like 36-hour news cycle that we were kind of in last year to now this sort of 12-hour, maybe even 6-hour news cycle.
Every
that
12
we're in
hours,
now. It's
some
just
crazy
everything
shit be
bombards
happening,
you all the time. And there's no time to take in a story as it's happening. As soon as a story happens, there's another thing to replace it. That's the big deal for this 20 minutes, you know?
So this is just the.
And it's hard to even vet stories now. Like, there'll be a story that seems like a big deal, but the more you think about it, the more you're like, why'd you tell me that?
Bro, literally,
but
y'all.
It'll be big news for a second, and then it'll be like, oh, but then that was just wasted my time.
Yep.
Like, I don't know if you saw, but apparently, after all this time, they've nailed it down. They've solved it.
What?
Apparently, we got Jack the Ripper.
That man has been dead for how long?
Some would say a little late. Some would definitely say that all the women alive now are worried about the men alive now.
Come on.
But at least we got Jack the Ripper, you know? He eluded us for a while, but he couldn't hide forever.
If you hide and then they can't find you after you die, you've won. You've won life. You've successfully done it, whether or not what you did was okay or cool. As far as you won. And that's the way I look at it. Because it's like, damn, like, unless hell exists and you burn it in there forever, you kind of won the game if you die being a scum without, like, actually suffering. Like, I look at some things of, like, cult leaders. How, like, the cult didn't break down until after the leader died. And low-key, the leader kind of won. Because, like, throughout his whole life, he kept people in a tight leash. Like, that jump's crazy.
Apparently, some guy claims he nailed it down with some DNA. And after I finished reading it, I was like, yep, Yep.
Wasted my time.
Think he got away with it.
Yes, because he's dead. Like he literally got away with that
Work.
shit. He's dead.
And play.
Y'all couldn't get
Because
him.
that's the thing. It's like you're inundated with so many different notifications, so many different news stories going down the line. You can't even.
Damn, I just like got a flashback in my head of like that Son of Sam trailer. Not trailer, but a documentary of how Son of Sam was essentially not one person, and it was like a cult. And that's why it was hard to like track down just one person. But when they finally got back with one of the people, it was 50 years later. He was an old man. And when he heard the cops outside of his door, he shot himself in the head. It's like, damn, I'm so close to beating the game.
Wait, the little things that aren't even quite
sorry,
news,
I'll
but like,
stop talking
remember
about
when
it
a
now.
video would be viral for like a whole day? And we'd all share it for like a day. We at least used to
Ma'am?
have a day.
At least a
And
day,
now there's
dog.
so much news, you don't get to enjoy anything for like a full day. And not everybody even sees the thing that's dope. Like, this is just me personally, but I've very much been enjoying how terribly these Dove releases have been going at funerals.
What? Now I gotta tap in now. I've gotta tap in now.
In case you're not familiar, there are some funerals where everybody can't get like a 21 gun salute or anything like that.
Right.
So they'll do something special, whether the funeral director suggests it or the family wants it, and they'll have these doves. And it depends on how they want to do it for the funeral, right? Some people say some sweet words and they release one dove at a time. Some people say some sort of message. They give a eulogy either at the cemetery or at another special place to the person that passed, and then they release all the doves at one time. But one thing that's been happening consistently is they will stand people in a line and give them the cue to release the dove. And when you see a dove release, it does make you.
Come on, y'all. What's good?
You at the crib, brother?
Yes, sir. Recording reactions.
Nigga, I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I was half asleep. I read your message like reverse or something. Like,
In reverse?
like it was wild, but I was like, wait a minute. I know you said more than just what I thought you said. Like,
That's literally what happened when I be half asleep, y'all. Like, I hear y'all, but I'm gonna need y'all to say it again in like 30 minutes.
yeah, bro. So what the fuck did you say in the message, bro?
I was pretty much like, since it's a weekday, and you know how the apartment, like, I know the apartment's not really on us anymore, but I don't want to give them any type of reason, especially like within the back of my mind. Like, of course, Third Floor said something to me, but I'm not sure if he said something to, you know what I'm saying, them first. So I just want to be on the safe side with that. So that's pretty much what I was saying.
Alright, that's a bad, brother.
Yes, sir.
I was half asleep reading that shit. I'm like, shit, I just love the message. I thought you had said something. I'm like, that shit doesn't even make sense. So let me go back.
So that don't even
I swear to God,
on me, bro.
like, shit did not make sense.
Nah, I'd definitely be like that.
Really, I should be there in the next 30 minutes to an hour for real. I gotta stop by the bar real quick.
All right, that's a bet. Yeah, I'll be here.
Alright, that's a bet.
All right, safety. All right, y'all.
Feel something. It's like a powerful thing. I understand why it's such a symbol for people, but the last few videos I've seen, the doves do just sort of die rather than fly away. There's one video that is truly spectacular. It is art to the point where I worried it was a sketch.
Wow.
There's 3 family members standing in a row, and this first one's cute to throw the dove up, and she goes, even bends her knees a little bit, really give it some oomph, and the dove bounces off her hands, and then bounces off the ground. As she snaps back, she's like, ooh, ooh. I hope that's not an omen. And then the second person releases their dove, and that dove flies off beautifully.
Okay, awesome.
And you're like,
awesome.
okay,
Yes.
not so bad. And then the third person goes to release his dove, and I think he knew his was dead. I think, if anything, I feel like he pitched that one. He was trying to like, if I can toss it high enough, maybe it'll...
I just hit my knee. What, bro? He knew it was dead.
There was another funeral where they were doing dove releases, and they had like 5 people lined up, and they were doing a different like stanza to this poem, and at every break in the stanza they released one of the doves and stuff, and they were getting close to the end. So this I don't know if this woman was number 5 or number 4, but she was whispering at the funeral director the entire time, "He dead." And the funeral director's like, what? Hand me another one, he dead. And the funeral director's like, that's all I brought.
They didn't think about it.
It's like, funeral director looking at him, trying not to interrupt the beautiful poem that's being read, and he's like, no, he's asleep. He's asleep. He'll wake up. Just throw him. He'll wake up.
No, he won't.
Throw him. He'll wake up. He won't. And they released the second picture, and the third picture is right here, and she's like, "This is a dead bird in my hand.
Dead bird in my hand.
Don't play with me. Find another bird." And it's like, "I swear it's asleep. Just throw it." And then the third person throws theirs up, and then they read the poem, and the woman is standing there like.
This is on y'all.
You can tell they get the like last couple lines of the poem, and this woman holding this bird goes.
Yeah, that is hilarious. Try to slap it away.
She just tried to like wake
fucking
her up, and then they end the poem. Everybody looking at her, and the field director like. And sure enough, she go to, and the bird just plopped down. And she was looking at the field director daggers like.
I tried to tell you.
Boy.
This your boy? This your boy?
And then the fifth person, their dove fly off, no problem. So everybody got a good dove, except for her.
Wow.
I felt for her. One thing I don't know if everybody thinks about when it comes to those dove releases is where they go.
They going somewhere.
What's next? I don't know anything about this, so I don't know if the dove returns and, they just know to go to the funeral director's house or something.
That would actually be convenient for the funeral
I'm
director.
assuming they start a new life. Like, I'm assuming...
That was my thought. Like, I didn't even think about it that far.
What a beautiful ceremony. I didn't know them, but y'all sent them off right. And then they fly off and try to get things going themselves. I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like to be like a released dove at a Bronx funeral.
Why'd he say, "Oh no"?
You a released dove at a Bronx funeral. And then you land on some roof somewhere. You're like, all right, I guess I gotta get my bearings. And then a pigeon land right behind you. Just, what's up, sweet thing? Pigeon just seemed like a very rub the belly bird,
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, huh? Hey, you looking fine as hell. No spots or nothing. Hey, you must be new to the city. Let me show you around. I know where the good spots are.
That would actually be funny.
That's the world we're in now,
I was about to
Nothing but
conspiracy
news
theory, y'all.
stories,
Let me stop.
nonstop.
This is not the video.
Everything's coming at you. You've gone from this 36-hour news cycle to the 12-hour, 6-hour, 4-hour on a really bad day. And you cannot care about everything. You can't, like, you want to have empathy, and especially when something's big, you want to care about it for as much attention as you feel like it deserves. But then another thing happens, and you're just daisy-chained bad news all the time. Or
All
what's
the
supposed to
time.
be important news all the time.
All the time.
And so sometimes things fall out of your head because
It's
you're
gonna
like,
be. It's gonna be way worse these next 4 years. I'm just letting y'all know.
focus on everything
Stay
at once,
informed
and some things
as
I
much
can't
as you
do
can.
anything about.
As much as you possibly can.
You
Try.
know? And so after a while, you haven't heard about something long enough, you just assume it's been resolved if nobody's talking about
Right.
it. But nobody's talking about it because there's so many things to talk about. And you also have to measure up how you feel about the world right now with the fact that everyone trying to give you news about the world also wants your money. They want a subscription from you.
Facts.
So they're inundating you with all this stuff because, like,
Bro.
maybe you'll like news from us, so we'll just keep sending you notifications. Because there's always a lot happening in the world. That's not different. The fact that we have access to it is different. Like, I was thinking about all of this last week. I was just sitting there and thinking to myself, dang, we never did get those astronauts down.
I don't even remember when that was a big deal. Like, that's the craziest thing.
So when a client comes to
That
us
is the
with an
craziest
ask
thing.
to launch an
I
influencer
forgot that was a big
campaign,
deal.
The process is pretty streamlined. So
Or I don't even remember it. That's the crazy.
We should, what's the plan? That was a while ago. We should probably do something about that. And look, it's not
Probably.
like I can do something about it.
For real.
You know, I can't.
I
care,
can't. I
but
can't
I
read
can't help.
space.
It's not like when your loudest, dumbest friend is in a bar fight, you know, and they're over there talking trash, or you're like, he over there though. I would never be able to get there in time. There's nothing I could possibly do. He's kind of on his own, which is a shame. I wish I could help. But
I wish
he's all the way
he's
over
all
there.
the way over
and that
there.
other guy's very big, and no one was talking to me. So, in case you don't know, in case you missed it, which is understandable.
Yep.
There were 2 astronauts that went up, Butch and Sonny, and they went up to the International Space Station, and they were the first to, I believe, man this Boeing Starliner. So they went up in this Boeing Starliner, which some would say was a mistake.
I heard Boeing, and immediately I just thought about all the crashes they had. So, yeah.
Because I don't know how many news stories you consumed last year, but Boeing was not having a fantastic year. And Boeing has different divisions, by the way. It's not all one thing. It's one company, but it's not all one thing. Everybody's not working on everything at the same time. So the plane people and the space people aren't necessarily the same, but by and large, as a company, wasn't looking good. You know? And so they went up to the International Space Station with this Boeing Starliner. And I'm not going to act like I understand or know how to do what astronauts do. I don't get it, and
I don't.
I'm glad that they do. Because astronauts, NASA, all of these experiments that they do in space have yielded incredible things for us down here on Earth that you wouldn't necessarily even connect to space, you know, like memory foam, inner ear thermometer. All the times that they've had to solve a problem up there, it's led to us having something dope down here. So keep going to space. I think that that's great. I don't know what you do up there, but all I know is it makes my life better, and I appreciate it. You know, because everything I know about working in space,
I did not know that.
I know from the movies. And whenever I see it in the movie, it's just the astronaut outside of the ship with a wrench.
He's not lying. He is not lying.
Every time I see it, it's Sandra Bullock or Bruce Willis outside the ship. Just
Yo, that shit is so facts. Oh my god.
I don't know what it is about space that makes screws so loose, but like, I genuinely assumed that a quarter of being an astronaut was just tightening. I don't know why space is so loose, but it's just you gotta keep it tight all the time.
Space is loose.
And so they send them up there, and this Boeing Starliner had a bunch of other problems. It had a bunch of other issues on the sort of unmanned tests that they were doing, and so it's very brave of them to even go up there and be doing these experiments and try and make a better world for us. They get up there, and they're supposed to be up there for like 8 days, right? And I don't know if they caught it or it got caught down here, but there were a bunch of problems with the Boeing Starliner. Some of them were helium leaks, because helium is incredibly hard to just capture, just keep it so light, and it's very easy to escape. And then they were worried about the thrusters, and so they were worried about control issues if they were to come down, right? Because Boeing used to be a better company. Boeing used to be a company that put engineers and innovation first. And then they had a bit of a merger, and that merger started to prioritize shareholders, prioritize the money. And so some of that innovation, some of those engineers...
Like most good companies, they start out good until they start accepting shareholders.
Fall to the wayside, and you have what we get now. Planes that make you a little nervous.
I'm sorry, I had to finish that, because they aren't focusing as much on the quality as how can we make the most money? People die. Don't worry too much about the safety. How can we make the most money? How can we capitalize? How can we get these ships done soon as possible so we can make the most money? This is how companies work when they get the shareholders, bro. It's not about the quality as much as it is how can we make the most money possible. It's sad. It's sad.
That only go one way.
I knew that I wasn't in good
health.
health.
How am I going to get an ad?
To get my...
I'm going to put this down.
Make no mistake, Butch and Sonny are fine in the sense that they are the most seasoned astronauts that we have. Sonny has logged potentially more hours than I think any ship, 322 days in space, and she has logged like 50 hours of spacewalking and everything. She's like a true veteran. And even before that, she was
having
a diver
that in your
in
memories?
the Navy, and she piloted
she's just a big
combat helicopter.
Oh, she's just a beast. Like, let's be for real. She's just a beast.
She knows
That's
what
crazy.
she's doing. And Butch is the same way. Butch had already been on missions before this. And to be fair, this was going to potentially be one of their last missions. And so
it's going to be their last one way or...
For those 8...
I hate to be that person because he's naming them, so it just brings the humanity back into it, which is needed. So y'all realize these are actual people stuck in space. Possibly. But yeah, if they get back down here, you better not go back up into space after this shit. You have spent 8 months in space after already being in space that long. Nope. Take in the scenery as much as possible. I'm not going back over there again. That shit happened.
Them getting some extra days. Maybe they don't mind. I just am trying to not project how I would feel.
Because that's my last, bro. That is the last time I am even stepping on a spaceship.
Because once again, I'm not an astronaut. I can never be an astronaut. Not good enough at math. Throw up too easy. So I don't give off astronaut, right? But if it had been me, if I had gone up into space, it was supposed to be 8 days, and then they were like, "Ooh, that ship, we may not be able to send you back down in that ship." I would be like, "Oh, okay, cool. So when's the next ship coming up?"
Facts. Get me out of here.
And so some of this is being explained to me by my friend, so forgive me if I'm like a bit incorrect, but he's saying that not only are they good because of how seasoned they are and how much they genuinely love being in space, but also because they have these like pods and stuff and different things they can send up to give them supplies, give them food and everything, give them things to continue their experiments, more wrench.
That's what I was concerned about. I was like, are they going to run out of food?
I don't know what it is, but like they can send stuff up. And so in my head, I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like if you can send stuff up, like you can send a pod up or whatever, then why don't they just
get in the pod and go down?
Like, why don't they just hop in the pot when all the food, like after they get all the food out and they eat the food, delicious, and then they get in.
Delicious.
they could get in the pod, right? And then take the pod down. He's like, no, it doesn't actually work like that. You know, it's not a manable ship and it's too small and everything. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Why don't they make a bigger pod?
Come on, like you got.
You know,
there has
enough
been
to,
more
like,
than enough time to think of
fit
something.
people with just some seats, just for fun, just some seats.
With some seats.
And then they send that up, and they can even put like an Xbox controller in there just to have something, you know.
Imagine playing Xbox while you have
it doesn't work like that. Like everything.
Imagine playing Xbox while you have like a first-person view of you like going back into Earth in real time. Like that shit would actually be hard.
I was like, okay,
I would not be gaming.
I would be like, everything I'm saying doesn't make sense, but the way it does work is also sound like it doesn't make sense.
That shit was crazy to me.
Just to me.
Just to me.
All right. I'm not Butch and Sonny, and I'm not going to speak for them. I'm talking about I was in space for too long. If it was me, which it will never be, it's not going to happen. I would pass out. So this isn't even a problem that we really have to discuss. I just couldn't get it out of my head. Because in my head, it's like to send me something, but not let me come back down. And the thing you sent me would be like if I was stranded. Imagine, stranded on Earth. Let's say I'm just stranded on Earth somewhere, and you're worried about me, and you're worried about me having supplies, having food and everything. So you send me an Uber Eats.
And not an Uber. Like, yo, that shit is insane.
You want to pursue a future in cybersecurity? ECPI
what is you doing, y'all?
Accelerated degrees in.
He literally had my process. I'm like, why are we not sending another ship? Like, I can understand like it takes a long time to get the ship just right, but if this ship is having problems and it's caught the orbit, you know, why? You know it's not going nowhere. Like, of course, it might, like, be on the opposite side of the Earth, but it's going to orbit back around. Why are you not just going to send another ship? And all you have to do is send a ship that its sole purpose is to bring them back. And then y'all can figure out the rest that y'all need to do as far as that. This is why I'm more on the theory to believe, or like I'm more inclined to think that they're good with this, and like they haven't like sent out any like crazy like distress calls or anything, because my nigga, that shit is wild. 8 months.
But then you go, no, don't get in the car.
Like, dog.
Don't get in the car. That's not how this works.
Like, dog.
This is not a car. This is a burrito car. See, you don't understand rocket science. This is a burrito car. You just try to get in any kind of car you want. That doesn't make sense. Stay there till we come get you with a car. Oh, it's tough. It really is, because if you read articles and if you listen to interviews with Butch and Sonny, they're not just in great spirits. They, if they're to tell it, are getting all this extra time in space. Space is their passion.
Okay,
it's
so
their happy
they're
place,
cool.
and so
That's
it's
what I was
somewhere
thinking.
where they
must
can go.
love it there.
That is unlike where any of us can go. They see a perspective of the Earth that most people will never get in person. That's beautiful, and the expanses that they get to wake up to. That's incredible, you know? And so if this really was going to be one of their last missions and it lasts all this extra time, there is something to be said for like, wow, I really got to spend a surprising amount of time in space. And I hope they feel that way. I really do. I just know if it was me, I would also be putting a good face on. So that way, everybody's working real hard to bring me down, and I can whoop some ass.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no.
Because you know how when you're on the phone with like customer service or something, you gotta be extra nice, even though you get madder and madder and madder.
Dog,
you start cursing, they're like, every time you swear at me, my computer seems to jam up. I don't know how the two are related, but they definitely are. May want to fix your attitude. No, I'm playing as nice as possible until I get down. And best believe when I get down, we're having it out.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like a bad man like that. I can't even fight, but I tell you, I'm biting the first person I see.
Come on, man.
cannot swing, but best believe I will catch
Something's
a
gonna connect.
mouthful of your chin, all right?
Something is going to connect.
You leave me up there all this time? What's wrong with you?
That's what I'm saying, dog.
You must be out of your mind. You got
to be.
Because look, I believe it. I believe that they love being in space, but everybody has a bad day. And I think a bad day in space is an extra bad day. Let's say you wake up, and it's just one of those days. You wake up wrong side of the pod. You know, very upset. And all you want to do is brush your teeth and maybe go read a book or something. You know? But you take your eyes off your toothbrush for 1 second. Now all of a sudden you...
This Rupert trying to get away. That shit would be crazy. Yo, I would. Come on, dog. I almost got it. Yo, they gotta have the gravity shit on. Imagine the gravity shit's just flying everywhere.
Grab the toothpaste.
It flies. Oh my gosh, I would hate that shit, man. That shit would kill me. Yep, you have to crash out after that.
Huh. Or maybe, you know, you got your coworkers up there. Butch and Sonny, I'm sure they get along, but there's other people in the space station that can leave.
Man? Go home? Like, come on now. Like, what?
And so I'm sure, you know, you have your disagreements with your coworkers. We all have it. We all have it. You want to storm off. It's very difficult in space. You want to storm off, but it just doesn't hit the thing. Because when you storm off, you want everything to be perfect. You want to be loud as you storm off. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? You want the feet to be slamming. If you slam a door, you want it to really shake after it slams and everything. You don't get any of that in space. Nope. I remember one time I was trying to storm off. I felt like I was in the right, and I was done. I was really angry, and I tried to storm off. But I had a small hole in my shoe, and it had rained the day before. And so I was squeaking as I walked off. And that's a hard thing to come back from, because I had the storming off words ready. I was like, this discussion is over. So sure enough, you know, you want to storm off in space. Maybe your coworker's making you mad. And you've had enough of it. You've been up here for, 2 extra months or whatever. You just want to go. So you're like, all right, that's how you feel. That's how you feel? All right, okay. Then you know what? Okay. You can finish the experiment yourself, because I'm out of here.
Turns up. Gotta launch off. You gotta hit that first launch and then do the shimmy.
I'm trying to leave.
Gotta have that good. Slowly though.
Keep all your passwords safe.
Shit. I'm glad y'all recommended me watching this with y'all, because this shit is funny.
Empathize with where the astronauts are coming from, because I worked at a grocery store, right? And
it's totally the same thing.
Give me a second.
I'm gonna let you cook. But yeah, that's totally the same thing.
That is wild.
Try to compare an astronaut to grocery.
I haven't built up enough trust that there's a point that I'm trying to. Y'all are rude.
Grocery though.
That's wild. Okay.
Continue.
Anyway, I used to work at a grocery store.
Yeah.
And I worked at this grocery store, and one of the reasons I wanted the job and one of the reasons I got the job is because my apartment was only going to be 1 mile from my home store. So I could walk to work.
Yes,
And
sir. Reliable
if I was late, could
transportation.
run, right? And then sure enough, when you get hired by this particular company, when you work for the company, you don't work just for that one store. You work for the district. And so what they can do is they can put you in different stores if they need to patch up. Maybe somebody quit and they need to patch up some shifts or something like that. And so
I would hope they would ask you if that works with your schedule and shit first. Like, that's why they should have, do you have reliable transportation up there? So they should know that, oh, Josh over here does not have reliable transportation. Let's not bring him at a store that's 10 miles away. But this might be back in the day. I don't know how old Josh is.
first get hired, I'm willing to go wherever. And I'm only at my home store, but I'm taking up people's shifts. If anybody needs to switch with me or needs me to take their shift, I'm taking it if I can. I'm coming in every time they call me in because somebody called out. I'm actually coming in so much that I get a bunch of overtime. Then they get mad at me and tell me to stop. But I was like, you called me. So
I know that's
I'm sorry
right.
I didn't self-snitch on the way in that this was hour 48 this week. Like, thought you
I'm not
needed
saying
help.
shit. You got to recognize me.
And then one day, I get put on a different store, a store that's really far from my apartment. And it was because someone had quit abruptly, and so they needed someone there that week. So it was only supposed to be that week. And I get there. I had never been to this store before, but it's in a bad, is it a bad, is it a horrible, is it a bad,
It's ghetto.
it is in a remarkably unfortunate, it is in a bad neighborhood, okay? And I don't mean bad neighborhoods in like they have crime sometimes, something. I'm talking about fundamentally everything about this place felt like the worst version of the Twilight Zone. This is the only place I've ever seen on 3 different occasions a rat walk out of the trap. And Tom and Jerry style, like really starting his day, yawning and everything, stretching his legs and stuff, going about his
I don't
day.
know if it was him who said he saw a rat. It was Josh. There was this one video where he had a friend over, and he said the first time the rat was out, it wanted to act brand new around the friend, and so he knows how rats were yawning and stretching.
And it was one of the big industrial traps. I don't even know what's in those things, but it's supposed to kill rats. And that's where he was chilling. So these are grizzled veteran rats. And I go in the store first day, I'm ringing people up and everything. And this one person comes to my line. She only had one item. I scan her protein bar. She pays me, and as she's paying and she's putting the cash in my hand, she leans in a little bit, which was odd. That's not something that you normally do. And then when I'm handing her her change, she says, "Thank you. There's a poop in aisle 5," and then walks out.
I'm not the one who heard that. I'm not the one who heard that. Thank you for letting me know, but I'm going to make sure I'm nowhere near all
And
5.
I'm sure she didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm sure she didn't do it. But I would just make sure I'm nowhere near there. So whenever someone does find it, it's not me.
I'm sure she didn't do it. But the way she walked out so quickly, I was like, do you have something to do with this? And so it's not really my problem. I'm hoping she was just joking. And so I just keep ringing people up, right? I'm just continuing to ring people up. And then my manager comes over, and my manager is like, "Hey, Josh, we're going to switch you off a register and put you on the floor for a little bit. Because, there's so many crazy things happening today. And so I'll go ahead and switch with you." And so then
I'm staying here. I'm good, boss.
And they go
I'm good, boss. I'm going to stay right here.
I'm still not electing myself to go to aisle 5. Right? I went straight back to the back room to grab some chips that were out in front. And so I grabbed the box, and I'm opening the box and, starting to stock the chips. And I
would have said no. I'm sorry. But with that knowledge, I'm going to stay on the I'm gonna stay on the register, dog. Like, I would just be much more comfortable here. This is my first time working at. I'm pulling out all the excuses. This is my first time working at this location. I'm not really as familiar with everything. You're saying it's crazy. I'm just trying to make sure that we get through the day. I feel like I'm more comfortable in this spot, so I'm gonna just stay in this spot. You got the floor. Maybe in a few hours, when the poop is clean, you know what? Maybe I'll give the floor a try. But no chances, no chances.
I hear a scream. And so I'm like, okay, it must be real. I just hear someone go, whoa!
Did he fall? Yo.
And so then I just keep stocking.
My day's over. Bro, if I fall and slip on poop, I don't care what errands I have to do after that. My day is over. I'm going home. I'm rolling up, and that's the end of the day.
Because
We're
I'm
gonna
like,
try again
I don't
tomorrow.
want that to be part of my life, right? and then I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's my manager. She's like, hey, there's a whole like situation on aisle 5. If you don't mind checking it out real quick. And in my head, I'm like, I thought you were gonna be ringing people up. You just
wanted
to set me up this whole...
exactly. That is exactly why I would have been like, no. Because I've had bosses like this, y'all. I've had bosses where like, so if I'm getting the lob from a customer, like poop on all 5, and you try to switch me over to the floor, and you're not my actual manager, this is not my actual store, nigga, I'm not comfortable with that. Maybe give me a tour first. But if I know what I'm about to get into, you handle that first. You handle that first. And see, this is partially his problem, because if I'm stuck at the cash register and I know that he's not going to say, go handle that, I'm definitely telling the manager what I heard from the customer. Be like, check and see if there's poop on aisle 5. I just got told that by one of the customers. That means that because I alerted him, he's not going to try to switch that responsibility over on me, because I'm going to just straight up told him, fuck no. At that point, like, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Using some very convenient language.
I know what's in my job description. Poop cleaning is not.
So I walk over to aisle 5, and
it's there.
I see it, right? And the only thing on aisle 5, on the way to aisle 5, by the way, I passed 2 people who were running away from aisle 5. Like, fully bumped me out of the way. Just like, like when you're in a zombie movie and everybody's running in one direction, but you got the shotgun, so you got to head towards the zombies. And so then I turn the corner, I see it, and the only thing on aisle 5 is it and one guy, and that one guy is looking at it, and he looks at me and goes, I didn't do it. Didn't think you did, dog. Like, I understand you being just as shocked as I am, and so then I go to the back because I don't really know what to do. You know what I mean? Like, this has been laid at my feet, and I don't feel prepared. And so I grab the broom and the dustpan.
Gross.
And the kitty litter.
Gross.
And so that I go ahead and like scoop and litter and everything.
You have to throw the broom away now.
That was day 1. That was the first day that I worked at that store. The second day, this older lady walked up to me at the register. I started ringing her up and everything, and she was hitting on me hard. And she was hitting on me in the way that older people can hit on you because they're not saying anything vulgar, but they're being very vulgar at the same time. They're not using the words, but you can tell the intent is there. And so she walked up and she was like, hi, young man. And I was like, that's the wildest I've ever been called young man in my life, because she really hit that hard A with the man. It lasted forever. She's like, how you doing, young man?
I've been there before.
And I'm sitting there like the name tag says Josh, like it. And so I'm bringing her up, and she's like, what you doing later? I was like, oh, work. I'm just ringing things up as fast as I can. And then she's like, can you bag it for me? Sure. I put it in the bag. She looks at me and she's like, I like the way you do it. And I'm like, you can see what I'm saying. Like, this is X-rated, what she's doing to me right now. But it's all under the radar. It's all, if you try to call her out for this right now, she'd be like, I'm not doing anything. But, like, we can all hear it together, right? Like, I like the way you do it. I'm like, oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks so much. Meanwhile, I'm just ringing up can after can of prunes. It's just nothing but prunes. It's like the store's worth of prunes. In my head, I'm like, there's no way she's going to be able to carry all this.
She's going to want you to bring it to the car with her.
And she was like,
Oh my gosh.
I'll see you when I come back. And I've never felt more undressed in my life.
All right, so listen up.
She definitely undressed you.
You're trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No, thank you.
It was day 2. And day 3, I was ringing somebody up. My manager walks up and they're like, hey, just so you know, watch that guy over there. You know, turn your head, watch that guy. And she pointed to this dude, and she was like, look, we forgot to mention this, but he does come in here periodically, and you just need to watch him because he will eventually start arguing with the cantaloupes.
That's not what I thought she was going to say at all. What the fuck?
And I always try to be respectful of my bosses and stuff, but I did turn to her like, what am I supposed to do about that?
Literally.
Break it up? Like, what do you expect? Why even tell me this information? We have a security guard, right? And so I'm ringing people up, and like 5 customers later, I hear in the distance,
Don't talk to me like that.
And so immediately I turn my head to our security guard. Our security guard, all I see is his back foot walking out of the store.
Out of the store?
Because we always have security guards on hand because it's a bad neighborhood and everything, but at the same time, they were allowed to take their break whenever they wanted. So then I think he saw a little argument breaking out. He was like, that sounds like a great time to have a snack. I'm hearing a snack right now. And so my manager comes over, and she's like, we should go say something. We. And so
it's always we, dog. Like,
we walk over, and this dude's holding his cantaloupe, and you know, letting the cantaloupe have it. He's like, you always do this.
Always.
And so I'm like, hey, sir, how you doing? Hello? Hi.
I'm real.
And he's not listening to me at
real.
all because
I'm
this
part
is
of
the point of the
reality.
argument where he got his receipts ready. He's like, no, because last time you said, he's like making all of his really good points and he doesn't want to be interrupted. Right? I was like, hey, could you just keep it down a little bit? You're scaring some of the other customers, right? And this guy was like, oh, I'm sorry. Which I could not have seen coming.
No cap. I thought he was going to tweet.
This guy goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get loud. It just, you know how it is.
Right. Right. Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Totally.
No, I know. Yeah.
Of course I do.
I'll go back to ringing people up, and then like several customers later, maybe 10 customers later, I see this dude in my line. And I start ringing up this one customer slow. Because I was like, maybe someone else will finish in time for him to get in another line. I do not want to have a conversation with this dude.
You're gonna have
and as I'm ringing them up, this guy's holding the cantaloupe and he goes, don't start again. Don't start again. And right as I look up, he's like, you know what? We're through. And he slammed the cantaloupe down. And I know he was arguing with a cantaloupe. But in that moment, I was like, oh.
No, for real.
This dude storms out of the store and everything. And I gotta clean the cantaloupe up. And as I'm cleaning up, I'm like, I'm sorry he hurt you.
Gotta put the pieces back together now. Sorry, no.
And that was just 3 days working there.
Yep.
You know, 3 days working there. And I was supposed to be there for a week. And they ended up having me there for 6 months. So when I tell you I can empathize what the astronauts are going through, like
That's good. Oh, that was a great example. Holy
something I
shit.
should be glad because you didn't believe in me at all. Like,
Nah, for it. No.
like
He said, I don't even want your claps. Because y'all thought I was going to say some crazy shit. Like, damn, bro. Even I doubted you, John. I don't know why I doubted you, bro. You don't ever be disappointed. Like, even I was like, that has to do with astronauts. How? And he's like, y'all, can y'all let me cook? You know what? My fault, sir. My fault. Shake my hand. Shake my hand if you watch the video. My fault, brother. Damn, that's crazy, y'all.
oh, as soon as I spoke, you're like, he thinks he's an astronaut.
I was definitely one of those
Man,
people,
does
bro.
Bluetooth actually work?
Okay,
Bro,
we got a little bit left.
You get
W
a
video
bump
before
for-
we even finish this. W video, man.
Because even if you love space, even if you love being up there and that's your happy place and everything, which I totally get, and I hope that that's the case. I'm sure if you went up there and they told you it was going to be 8 days, that you probably had plans.
Just a few.
It was June of 2024. I'm sure you wanted to do something else before the end of the year besides float. You know, I'm sure they would love to. I'm gonna go out on limb and say it. Probably vote in person. That probably would have been great. And now, now they're up there. I even saw an article that said that they had initially said it was going to be February of 2025 when they were able to get them down. They told them that in September.
Well,
And then
February's
it got pushed a
over.
little bit more, so to like March of 2025. And then I
was
just
like,
saw an article that
February's
said that there have been some developments, and they may actually be able to go up there and get them early.
Think they couldn't have done that before, maybe? That's nasty work.
If it were me, I'd be like, don't say early around me. Don't say
Don't
early
say
around me at all.
Holy moly.
Because Butch and Sonny are up there, and they're going to be returning to a very
Interesting.
different Earth.
Yep. Yep.
Which might be why they so cool with being left up.
Yo,
That might
low
be it.
key.
They're
I had
probably
that thought a little.
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm
Chilling.
Don't worry about me.
No, for real. Like y'all stay up there, keep on. Damn. That was so good. Oh my gosh. Like, my expectations be high like this. I have a reaction to this one too. That one's doing pretty well. Josh Johnson's stand-ups just in general. This one was really good. Oh man. Yeah. I'm really glad I watched this with y'all. I'm glad that the video actually recorded. Oh my gosh. That's perfect. Oh my gosh. Shout out to whoever, you know what I'm saying, asked to react to more Josh Johnson. I got you. And if y'all have any other reactions, let me know. If y'all like the video, do me a favor and like the video. It helps out the channel. And if you want to see me again, because we is a small channel over here, just consider hitting that subscribe button so you can see me again. And it helps out the channel. I'm trying to get to 1K one day, you know. But that's about it. If y'all like the video, like it, subscribe if you're new, because all we do is chill over here. And with that being said, y'all be great. Y'all be safe. keep getting to that bag. And I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace.